there's two situations I want to kind of talk about this morning, kind of quickly if I can. First off, remember all the videos that we saw over the summer that were purported to be white people doing bad things to black people, right? Especially white cops who were supposed to believe every video. And then we find out that there was more things behind the story. But we were told to just believe the small clips in those videos that showed something bad happening. And then we were encouraged to riot and to be angry with white people, white cops and the like, and then to defund the police based off of these clips of these videos. Well, the mainstream media and all those who are on that tip, they were trying to push that narrative. Now, were there some things that happened that were bad? Yeah. Were there some things that were over-exaggerated? Yeah. But all of it was believe what the mainstream media was pushing as the story, that's what you're supposed to believe. Now the mainstream media will not show you videos of actual things that are happening in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan that show people giving their real life stories about the vote count, fraudulence, and all that kind of stuff. So the mainstream media is really driving a narrative, but we all know it. But you need to understand that what's happening, you have a massive majority, high percentage of Republicans do believe that this election, that there was massive fraud in it, okay? But what's crazier is that you've got up to 30% of Democrats believing the same exact thing, because these people who are being intellectually honest are looking at it and saying, okay, some shenanigans went on. I don't know what it was, but I'm realizing that a narrative here is being driven by the mainstream, the MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox News, CNN, whatever. These mainstream media channels, and yes, I'm including Fox News, because it was just, like I said before a long time ago, it was only a matter of time before it happened. So it is what it is. But this information is being suppressed now, and only certain channels will actually show you what's happening. And if you're a person who wants to know different sides of this whole argument, you need to get yourself Newsmax and OAN. Seriously, just so you can look at it, because you'll be told, you'll find out information that you didn't even know existed. And that's so unfortunate, because the best way to keep the information suppressed is by not even letting you know that there's stuff out there that runs contrary to the mainstream narrative. You need to know that. So this is what my encouragement is in the first part, is just to go out and research, look up this information, look up Project Veritas, justthenews.com from John Solomon. Seriously, just take a look at it so that you have more information in your back pocket. But I want to get to the second point real quick. Well, the second point is, over the weekend, I got to meet up with a buddy of mine. We served together in a church a while ago, and the two of us, we've been friends for about 10 years or so. Well, we also come from completely opposite spectrums on the political sphere. He shares his opinion, I share mine. He watches some of my stuff, I watch some of his stuff, and it's like, we're respectful with each other. Well, I went to his house on Saturday to pick up some stuff, and he asked me some very pointed questions. Like, both of us, we're two pretty direct people. Like he works in a field that's pretty, people are very direct, and I work in a field where people are pretty direct as well too. So we have like that portion of us is a part of our personality and makes up our landscape. Well, anyway, he asked me a pointed question, and when he asked me that question, I didn't take offense to it, because he was being real with me. He's just asking a question, and I answered very directly and pointedly as well too. And again, we differed on the reasons for what his question were. We differ politically about what we see in the nation, and I was able to explain myself. He didn't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt him as well when he was asking the questions and then giving his opinions, and we were respectful with one another. That was and it was pretty interesting, actually, because he said, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't see this or whatever," and we kind of came to mutual understanding that there's more information out there that we both just need to know, just so that we're more well informed. Well, again, we come from different aisles on the spectrum here, the political spectrum. How did the conversation end? Dude gave me a hug. I gave him a hug. Then he showed me a bunch of Star Wars stuff he's got. Okay, so we were able to engage on all things personal on top of the political. I didn't accuse him of being like some part of some stupidity clan or whatever. He didn't like accuse me of being some racist part of some Trump clan. We were still respectful with one another, and we didn't personally attack one another. It was never a personal attack. He's not Biden, and I'm not Trump. We might support either one of the candidates, but we don't take it personal to the point where we attack the other and that we demonize one another. Now, why is that important for me to share with you? Because there are more people out there, and we had a discussion about some other serious stuff involving what happens if things go sideways. And he actually agreed with me about if things actually do flip, that it actually will get funky. And the reason being is he's looking at it from a real perspective. Now, the reason why we're able to come together is because we have a personal relationship with one another, and we're not angry with one another. We don't blame one another, and we see still each other as a person who's got their own ideas, views, opinions, and that we both share together that we should be able to share our opinions without there being repercussions, without there being some sort of, some detriment to the individual who has the opposing opinion. We shared that with each other. And that's why it's so important that when you have these conversations, you might get into it on social media, but you might want to actually have a personal, direct conversation with folks who you know closely, one-on-one, face-to-face, instead of via social media. Because social media, people can say all kinds of crap and then hide behind the keyboard. The keyboard warriors out there, some of the virtue signalers, those folks say some wild-ass crap. And then when you don't agree with them, then they tag their friends to get a freaking mob after you. And then I'll tell you guys a story. Actually, I'll tell you a quick story. Back when Prop 8 was here in California, I got into discussion. I was walking over the county building here in San Diego, got into discussion with a woman who was, she was blatantly, she basically identified herself as lesbian. We were discussing about Prop 8, and she was obviously a no on Prop 8, and I was a yes. We both just walking to the crosswalk, having a conversation, discussion, and it was kind of cool because she gave me her reasons why she was voting no, and I was giving her a reason why I voted yes. So when I come out, I meet this one white lady on the corner, and she's like, looks at me and she says, "Hey, we voted no, right?" And I said, "No, I actually voted yes." This woman raised her voice and said, "Hey, look, everyone, here's a bigot, get him. She freaking was trying to get a freaking lynch mob at me. I freaking yelled at this chick. I said, "Freaking crazy ass, what the hell are you doing?" And I freaking went at her, and I said, "You didn't freaking talk to me like a goddamn man, dude. Freaking, what the hell's your problem?" And she stopped, and I said, "Don't you ever do that to people, because you put yourself as somebody that wants to be out here for your cause and then try to get a group after me. So you better freaking stall that crap." And I freaking came at her hella sideways. And she actually calmed down, but she raised my stress level real quick because there were 10 people around me all of a sudden. Now, mind you, I'm a black dude, okay? And I'll handle my mess, dude. I'm not freaking worried about it. But these people, white people, were surrounding me because they were supposedly on this majority about what I should be doing as a black person. Now, when there's people out there who believe that they can speak into your life the way that they believe that you should be believing about this world, what they're doing is they're imposing that stuff on you, and then they're virtuously upon you what they believe is true without ever knowing you. But the people who actually know you, like my buddy knows me, he took the time out to ask questions and to really reveal his heart about stuff, and I was able to reveal my heart about stuff. Understand this: if you need to have a discussion, it's going to be deep. Don't do it on social media. Remember, if there's information out there that you need to really investigate, do it, because it may go against your narrative, which is why I said check out the Newsmax and the OWN. But also, too, have personal dialogues with people who you care about, and then maybe come to an understanding, even if you still disagree, about how you will treat one another. Because believe me, those folks on the TV, just like that chick was and doing that Prop 8 thing, they want to come at you. Stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid of standing up for yourself.